Welcome to the last video for the second grading for Math 7. I'm going to share to you right now the practice exercise containing the last items for the second grading. Still, we are talking about solving linear equations in one variable. So we are talking about looking for the solutions. So we are going to apply checking and then probably express all solutions in solution set if we have. The only difference with this practice exercise with the previous one is that we have included here the presence of grouping symbols, such as the grouping symbol for x minus 5, for x minus 1, for x plus 6, and for x plus 3. When you have this grouping symbol, you just simply need to use the distributive property as it is. Okay, so let's start with number one. In number one, you will distribute here the item or the constant outside to the expression inside. Take note that if you're going to apply the distributive property, if you want, you may separate it with the plus sign so that you will not have any problems. But since we have done doing that in the previous example, let me just automatically distribute this without uh, any consideration anymore of the separator. So you have 2 times x, you have 2x. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10, which is equal to x plus 2. This is again taken from here, 2x minus 5. If you are not yet convinced with that, 2 times x, use separator plus 2 times negative 5. 2 times x is 2x plus 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. And break the grouping symbol by distributing the plus sign. Positive times negative will become negative. That's why you have 2x minus 10. So these are actually basic this process when we distribute or we multiply monomial to binomial. So you can just simply take charge of that for the next items. We're going to proceed with this right now. Now, as you can see, even if we have grouping symbols for number one, this is very familiar. This is similar to the examples we had in the previous practice exercise. So we simply use here properties of equality. For some of you who are familiar with the technique of transposition, if you want, you may do that one. Just make sure that you are following the correct and proper mathematical operations. If you're using also your own method that you have discovered or from a person who helped you understand that process, you may again, as long as you're following correct and proper mathematical operations. But here I'm just going to produce properties of equality just for reference because we have been talking properties of equality and all the techniques that you have been doing transposition as one of it is actually taken from properties of equality. But instead of using the usual horizontal line, I'm going to use it differently this time so that you could actually see another type of application of properties of equality. Instead of having it 2x minus, instead of having 2x minus 10 and then plus 10, we equal to x plus 2 plus 10, because there are some students who actually gets confused if it's very long. Instead of doing that, let me write here plus 10 at the bottom. So we're going to remove the minus 10 by adding plus 10 and also going to add plus 10 here. So you may do this. And then that could be 0 because negative 10 plus 10 is 0. So you will have 2x is equal to x plus 12. 2 plus 10 is 12. And then you remove this by minus x, do it on the other side. Okay, so I'm not using here the lengthy horizontal process of applying the properties of equality. I'm using here the vertical method. You may also use this. So you have 2x minus x is 1x, or simply x equal to, that's 0, 12. So this is the result for the value of x. But again, our concern is solving. So we are not yet sure if it's the solution or not. So we always go to checking. And when we check, we always use the given equation because it may answer later on possible uh, incorrect processes when you distribute the given monomial to the binomial here. So to remove the possibility that even if you will check here and you will get a balance in the equation, even if your answer is incorrect, always use the given equation here. So you will have 2x minus 5, and the other side is x plus 2. Again, I have not been placing question marks yet because I have not substituting yet. Now that we are going to substitute, 2, you have 12 minus 5. The other side will become 12 plus 2. And this is the time that you will actually use question mark. GEMDAS allows us to combine first the items in the grouping symbol. So we have 2, pardon, this is color blue. 2, 12 minus 5 is 7, and the other side is 14. Again, even if it's too obvious, continue until you reach an equality. Yeah, 2 times 7 is 14. The other side is also 14. This is the time that both sides are equal. Then you can now say that x equals to 12 is not just an answer for the variable, but more importantly, a solution of the equation. That should be your sentence, your complete analysis. X is equal to 12 is not just an answer for the given variable, but more importantly, a solution to the equation. 2 times the quantity x minus 5 equals x plus 2. That's it. Applying the same processes, let's continue with number 2. But in number 2, again, we will distribute it here. Do not include the other term because this term here is already outside the grouping symbol. That may be one of your possible misconceptions as well. So do not include this item here only for this grouping symbol. So you have 3x, 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So it stays negative 1 equals 2x plus 1. Combining these two, you have 3x, rule of signs, minus 4 is equal to 2x plus 1. Now that you have this, you could apply the properties of equality vertically or horizontally if you want. But since I have used a vertical method for number 1, let me use here the vertical method. To remove minus 4, I need to add plus 4. I need to add 4 on the other side as well. That becomes 0. I have 3x is equal to 2x. 1 plus 4 is 5. And then I will subtract here 2x. I will also subtract here 2x. This will become 0. So 3 minus 2 is 1x. The other side, 0 plus 5 is actually 5. This is the result for the variable x. To verify whether it's a solution or not, let's do checking and use the given equation. 3x minus 1 is equal to 2x plus 1. Once substituted, we put question mark. 3, 5 minus 1, here minus 1. The other side 2, 5 plus 1. So GEMDAS allows us to do this first and then product before subtraction. GEMDAS. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So you have 3 times 4 minus 1. The other side, by the way, I forgot to place question mark. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1. The other side, 3 times 4 is 12 minus 1. The other side is 11. Right side, rather. Again, we will use question mark even if it's too obvious. And finally, 11 equals 11. This is the time that you will have a check mark. So we are now sure that in number 2, x equals to 5 is not just an answer to the given variable, but more importantly, a solution to the equation. In number 1 and number 2, we are sure that both the values are solution. Again, we can create a solution set. Just an addendum. So you have here, it's not said in the problem, but just an addendum for us to be prepared in the upcoming assessment and the third grading topics. So this contains 12. That is the solution. And for number 2, the solution set is a set containing 5. Okay. Last item for the first grading is this one. Distribute 5 to x plus 6 and do the same for 2 to x plus 3 without doing this. So it should be distributed to its intended grouping only. So you have 5x plus, you have here 30 is equal to 2x plus 12. So rather, it's 6. So you have here 5x plus 30, 2x plus 6, and then properties of equality, minus 30, minus 30. Yeah, that's 0. And you will have here 5x is equal to 2x. 6 minus 30 is minus 24. And then you subtract 2x, you subtract 2x. 5 minus 2 is 3x equals to negative 24. Again, it is negative 24, not positive 24. I'm going to also share the difference between the two later. So let's divide both sides by 3, divide both sides by 3. So your answer for the variable is x equals to negative 8. Before I will check this answer, let us go to a possible solution here that 3x is equal to positive 24. And if you're going to divide both sides by 3, this is one of items that you might create. X is equal to 8. This might be your answer without considering the negative sign here. So if you have this, do not stay still. Do not relax and you will say, my solution set is a set containing 8. Check it first, because if you're going to check this one here, let's use 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. That's times 5. Here, 8 plus 3 is 11 times 2. 5 times 14 is actually 70. 2 times 11 is 22. Basically, they are not the same. Therefore, this is incorrect. And now that's the time that you will analyze, why is it that it's incorrect? I will go back here. I have not discovered, I have not acknowledged, I have not considered the negative sign here. So some of us would like to stay still and relax and continue in considering this as the final answer, but you need to check it. That's the purpose of checking. So if the checking will actually help you try to analyze if there are some items that you have not considered. So negative 8 is the correct result here, but not yet a solution. So let's check it using the given equation. 5x plus 6 equals 2x plus 3. And then you have substitute 5, negative 8 plus 6. You have 2, negative 8 plus 3. Use question mark because we are still checking it. Then, Gem does negative 8 plus 6 is not negative 14. Okay, not negative 14. It's negative 2. The other side is 2. Negative 8 plus 3 is not negative 11. It's negative 5. Okay, those are actually possible misconceptions if you have not mastered integers yet. And then 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. The other side is also negative 10. Both sides are now equal. Then this is now, or we are now assured that this is not just an answer to the variable, but more importantly, a solution to the equation. And your solution set is not a set containing 8 or an empty set. It is a set containing negative. Okay, so these items are just given just to test whether you have really understood grouping symbols and even solving of linear equations in one variable. Okay, for number 3, this is the solution set, number 2, and number 1 as well. So this is the last content for the second grading, last video for the second grading. With this and the rest of the videos before, review them so that you could prepare for your assessment. And at the same time, review them so that you could prepare for the similar topics on the third grading period. Thank you very much. God bless in your exams. See you.